more than 95% of the projects I have seen we inherited. There's no evidence of any tender or anything. Absolutely.
Why? Misleading.
Yes, that's exactly what you
admit that you also did so.
You don't have a problem. That's why we lost the election.
Please,
that's why we lost the election. That's why we lost the election. You can make your point without making because don't make attributions to the NPP.
We had a very interesting situation where during the recent validation, a contractor was contacted and said, we owe you 500 and something million. He said, no, you don't owe me 500 and something million. They were insisting they owe you. He said, no, you owe me less than 300 million. Because according to him who received the money, he received part payment already. But in the records of that organization paying, it's still a full amount that is there. So we need to actually clean up this.
Thereafter, we were told that they needed to be validated by external auditors. We gave them audience. It was then that we realized that the Minister of Finance were paying contractors on our behalf without our knowledge. And that is basically the basis for these claims.
The motive of this Public Accounts Committee. Some of us here who sika amount for di. And I say who we are mobeti. Ghana was a crime scene. Over 15 million. Egyapa contractor within free. Adwuma ba akukura ni wa ya no ho. Na anya no go. According to the road minister, hey, MPP. Enti baby modi Ghana no ekoja ani. But our Public Accounts Committee, a honor road minister ko pie. Na ye busaro. Keno forata. Ye de snap ningosiat. Ebo bompaya ma wati. Papa ni timi je over 3 billion Ghana cedis. Abra na omwangasa na omosi ye tia through omudi mu no. The Director of Finance at the Ministry of Roads and Highways. As in
In answering this question, I have wished that the Minister of Finance were here because we were asked to present a list of arrears in the ministry and in our books, which we submitted to the Minister of Finance. Thereafter, we were told that they needed to be validated by external auditors. We gave them audience. It was then that we realized that the Minister of Finance were paying contractors on our behalf without our knowledge. And that is basically the basis for these claims. So at the meetings with the auditors and the Ministry of Finance, we had made the point that we reject the nomenclature used as rejected to appear as if we had intentionally made payments and resubmitting them for repayment. Completely false. So that is why I started by saying that if the Minister of Finance were here, then they will attest to these things. They were doing things outside the gift mix, paying outside the gift mix, paying bonds without recourse to us, and that is the cause of this amount.
Sir, after the special audit, they called you, you went to Ministry of Finance for an exit interview. Isn't that the case?
No. During the audit, we met the auditors at the Ministry of Finance, and we made this particular point clear to them. The Minister of Finance, that meeting was chaired by Deputy Minister of Finance, Ampim Daku, and he was outraged. In fact, he was surprised that those things were happening at the Ministry of Finance. And he asked his directors, and they confirmed it there and then. The auditors were there.
And what was the response? Our auditors, it's you that have to. What was the response of Minister of Finance about this issue that he's raising?
Honorable Chair, I don't recall exactly the response from the Ministry of Finance, but what we observed, and as was explained, that these payments were being made without recourse to the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Kedo Forata was paying money that they didn't know. So much, yeah. Now, wama look it to say, omuna award contract no much esikano. Wow. This same man, according to the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Akrutinga Yini, ever got here say, Keno Forata etia $47 million for National Cathedral Abraham pass Parliament. That same man, Sandy Bakronano, in excess of 3 billion Ghana cedis. And now I saw Magana. Na mena grana afi de meet no kamemba. Onu an mi se obo Ghana krono ema. Oba asemeba. Obedru Ghana say asemasi. Ndi yenya finance minister na we comforter. Papa ne se onyaya. You wish. Sanga Keno Forata. Etia or no answer the questions. And I say, oh, how? The deputy now up and say, on a two anymore as a chairperson. The deputy no. Me person me the motive of this public accounts committee. Some person who sika amanfo adi. Anase mu yehu wie a mo beti om. Because how can the finance minister be paying money for roads that any contractor any roads no? This was the same manner. Okobo butia bre Ghana. The data bank edging 10% no. This is the same man I'll catch it say. Yahuya and Mobos are and John Jacket. This is the same man who was able to convince Nebra Nana Dango Akufo-Addo, the president. Say e-levy omodi etre Ghana. Emma lawyer and the appear could be belonging to MPP. I got to look. Even Omo, it was at that time, 3 Ghana and the net also. In one, Papa Nantia say. There's no one single good news I can talk about when it comes to Keno Forata. CD depreciation. Haircut, a man could loans are or the data bank at the Ghana Koboy. Or so I carry and could do IMF. Emma Nunti Yentimi fan nurses and for teachers. If you also one positive thing about Keno Forata and Patrick Catchable conversation. And if also to say me, not only one single positive thing about Keno Forata, tell me our conversation because maybe they're not making. I can't tell one single thing I can Forata in Ghana. Nay, the interest of Ghana. No wonder he or such in time. Obenia's a green card, no USO. One in the crank of over 3 billion. Anything of the year of road near fellow, I know. Sana or no, or most of another new as we movie. It's possible. Said the finance minister alone decided to be so bold enough, knowing very well that 90 MPs from the minority side. Sorry, echo the president, chancellor president. A year, according to me, Japan. Osayare, Uncle Hoyare. President say, Munchen, more or less. My name is a grant account ye, or say chairman Sabunsu. Every majority leader now. And unti ante, na lawyer and the appear could be poison. The MPP people, even at some point, didn't want him. And you, and you end this phone, and you Ghana phone, you media phone, even the MPP phone, at some point, I was a bread. Sir SML daily, PDS daily, a beer corruption. Now you're quite the year of rules. Na swami interchange yantima nye ofankon se wom amasema rule yantima nye dodo wakwanya yaji hu sika di ewie ya nye sa na ocho na otwe sika ne mana ho. He was paying himself him as a contractor sedayo, and the director of finance our road ministry ho I say orisi senga kenofurata what ya no answer question. I'm saying, me, I even get shocked when you people are asking current ministers questions are problem or no or better way. Why you not calling those old ministers? From no answer questions. Now, according to the road minister, and the big push about corruption. Before say Ebeka Yakwana Yenyano, Rose Ekoso. Ni na ye so source in semi ana na ye reveal secret you second for that meet na ho 3 billion na director of finance road ministry ni mo hwe. If anybody benefits unduly, it is the mark of a weak system that creates loopholes to exploit.
Please, finance and ministry, you made mention that you were having difficulties tracking these payments because some of the projects were paid from other sources. Can you speak to that?
I didn't say we're having difficulty tracking them, because you track something that you know. If it's done at our blind side, how do you track? It was during the audit that some contractors came to tell us that they were paid. And the auditors also called some of the contractors and they said they were paid. So if you pay a contractor without recourse to me, I will not update my contract register because I don't have any evidence to that effect.
Please, do you have the report before you? Page 33. It says, management iterated the challenges they face in tracking payments once the IPCs leave their remit. The risk of double payments is heightened as a good number of projects were currently funded by more than one source. Can you speak to that?
Mr. Chair, there shouldn't be a situation where any one project should have multiple sources of funding, except those that, let's say we have a loan and then there's a counterpart which will be GOG. That will be understandable. But we are talking about a situation where at the ministry, we have only two sources. Maybe the project is attached to road fund or government of Ghana. The difficulty is when, because of the level of arrears we have, sometimes contractors hear that government of Ghana is paying. Meanwhile, the project source of fund is road fund. Then they find a way of getting that certificate to GOG to be paid. At that stage, it's not an intention to cheat or anything at that stage, just to get their monies paid because they've invested money and they've been sitting there for 4 years and not being paid. Unfortunately, because that process is not properly documented, that certificate probably lies still in the records of road fund. So one day when road fund gets money are paying, actually that certificate can be paid again. It got worse when you have a situation where at a point in time we took a bond from Fidelity, which is a third layer. So it is no longer even road fund or GOG, but a third party. So the third party, the contractors are encouraged to go to, let's say, Fidelity and get your certificate cleared through a bond. They carry out that certificate still probably lies with GOG. One day, if GOG is paying, because our record keeping is problematic, that certificate could end up being paying. We had a very interesting situation where, during the recent validation, a contractor was contacted and said, we owe you 500 and something million. He said, no, you don't owe me 500 and something million. They were insisting they owe you. He said, no, you owe me less than 300 million. Because according to him who received the money, he received part payment already. But in the records of that organization paying, it's still a full amount that is there. So we need to actually clean up this. I don't see if there's any body benefiting unduly, which is what it is. It is the lack of the structured system that gives opportunity for somebody to see that there's a loophole to go and capitalize on. If the payment system was quite clear that when your project is supposed to be funded by road fund, you have no way. It's just like working at Parliament and deciding that I want to take my salary at the Electricity Company of Ghana. We don't do that. So why is it that when we are doing government projects, people can move certificate from A to B like that? So from last year, you cannot move certificate from one entity to another. When your project is GOG, you are stuck there. Whenever GOG gets money, they pay you. If it's road fund, you have to stay there. When we get money, we pay you. But until then, we need to deal with what we are having now. So that is what I think the situation should be. We need to fix the whole system, which is right from Minister of Finance to the entities.
According to Honorable Kwame Governs Agbodza, Papa ne say ohe enyema ekoswa wrongful contractor payment, duplicated arrears. Or say Sanyama we nyina no na a weak system. I'm saying, look, are we always going to blame the system? Someone was indeed corrupt. How do you duplicate arrears? What they cut 10,000? What you by the receipt of finance minister? Oh, so I cannot assure you. Over there, is according to the road minister, yet you be about 300 million. Your friend say, oh, you do cabs 500 million. In the end, you make sure to make a payment. I say, one name make 500 million. One make 300 million. Meaning say, Obia inflated cano. I then. What a country. Can I know? Or inflating? Cannot ye do or ye tria? But still, and that's what I was seeing. Try. Dear, yet you have been po still, and that's what the same price. And this is the same people. Foreign a contractor, I'll say, contractor now worth 80 million. I'm going to equal agreement, 100 million. I don't for actually 20 million. I know, so and I also know, sir, you are angry. The level of stealing, I course, under the last 4 years of the MPP, even the devil cannot steal like this. Abba, according to the road minister, over 90% of uncompleted road projects inherited, not awarded through tender. A friend saying, sourcing.
Problem is what he raised. If we committed the state to a total of almost 8 billion Ghana cedi, when there's no evidence of commencement authorization, no evidence of any tender process. So how on earth is the Ministry of Finance even supposed to budget for for this expenditure. So sometimes the public need to understand why these things are what they are at the Ministry of Road. But you see, people oversimplify and the understanding. Of course, majority, more than 95% of the projects I have seen we inherited. There's no evidence of any tender or anything. Absolutely. But these are roads going to communities that need them like yesterday. So what should we do? Terminate them and say that we should go and do 1 year competitive bidding for it? No, but there's another way to check it. We can continue that same project, but ensure that the contractor carries out the work as expected by the standard, and we only pay them for the work they have done, not the contract price. Like I keep telling people, we don't pay contractors contract prices. We pay you for the work you have done. Core mandate of Road Fund has been missed in a lot of ways. They still do a lot. Many of our maintenance programs are done on it, but the amount we are loading onto it now is not sustainable. We have projects almost 700 million Ghana cedi on Road Fund, when the entire allocation for 2026 is 3 billion. One project, almost 700 million. So how on earth do we expect this fund to be sustainable and reach everybody? So indeed, we need to also augment the accruals to the Road Fund. 3 billion for 16 regions and a debt of 11 billion doesn't give an indication that the problem has got a solution yet. So we either augment the accruals to the Road Fund and also streamline, how maybe even institute a limit to how much should be the cost of a project you can offload onto the Road Fund.
You know, the issue with the huge payments that Road Fund is saddled with, it is because Road Fund has moved from its core mandate. It's a big deal. I know people want roads, so sometimes you go to Road Fund to assist, because the act is very clear that it is to finance routine periodic maintenance and rehabilitation of public roads. And it's also to be used to assist metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies to perform their functions. But now we have saddled them with huge projects. Minister, maybe we should think about allowing them to carry out their mandate only, so that whatever funds they have in excess can be brought to the ministry to assist the ministry, in addition to what Ministry of Finance gives you. This is just something that you should think about.
Road Minister said, "Quina ombeji from Nanado, any Dr. Ladi Mahmoud Bomia time. I still don't remind Mama so better person. About 90% of them, so now. Indeed, anyone was say for whatever reason, MPP for no echo chief match. I was animal. Some match pass now more any press conference be no. Nanka yepe omo moral right to talk about so source now. The last batch MPP. Now and Kwesi Pratt any Egyapa MPP for more of them. Oh, complaining said the president said he will not engage in so source. And the Kwesi Pratt say onyani ni argument ni ya. Or part say in plain language. Omu yebi. And then this is guys so your moye nenye. And so baby. Nje nunti no mutienti mu na. O se da bi. And yes, I know kind. But utie na asem no so a. Sa pepe na oka.
No. That's not what we said.
So we are going to take the 2 minutes.
No, but I need to correct it because we have only 2 minutes. That's not what we are saying.
So what are you saying?
The president committed to the people of Ghana that when he is elected into office,
No,
forget about that. No, it's not. We are holding him to his commitment. Not a comparison of what MPP did and what NDC is doing.
No,
Not at all.
Please. You had enough time.
Yes, I did.
Allow me to make it.
But I need to correct
The
you
point
if you
you
are
are
misleading the public.
Why? Misleading.
Yes, that's exactly what
You
you suggested.
admit that you also did so.
I don't have a problem. That's why we lost the election.
Please, you
That's why we lost the election. That's why we lost the election. You can make your point without making because don't make attributions to the MPP that is unfounded. I will correct you.
Andy, when you were making your submission, he disagreed with you on some of the things you said. But
Oh, he didn't disagree with me.
No,
All
he
the
didn't.
things I said were factual.
And that's why
All the things I said were factual.
Yes.
Were they not?
It's so unfair.
Yes.
It's so unfair.
Yes, I agree with you.
When we have spent 20
I
minutes now,
apologize.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, please
and
go
you
ahead.
do this.
Yeah,
It's
please
so
go ahead.
unfair.
Yes, so unfair. I agree with you.
One, you are not denying that you did soul sourcing.
Right.
The only reason why today you are opposed to soul sourcing is that you say, maybe rightly, that this government promised to do away with soul sourcing.
Yes.
Is that not what it is?
Right.
Is that not what I said?
Right.
So that's what you're saying. Okay? All of us are agreed on the fact that soul sourcing is legal. It's not illegal.
Right.
And I'll be surprised if you say that it is illegal. Okay? Now, under the current procurement laws, there are conditions for soul sourcing. Conditions which allow any government, any institution to do soul sourcing under the procurement laws. So the issue is that whether those conditions were present in this particular matter. If I lie, tell me that I lie.
No,
that's the substantive issue. Now, there's now an argument about what a report is and what a report is not. I mean, my brother here says that all that the Fourth Estate did was to collect documents and publish them. But that is not true. You know that it is not true. Because what the Fourth Estate put out, and I'm not challenging the validity of what they put out, is the documents of the ministry plus their own analysis and evaluation of the document. That's a report.
I said that to him. Yeah.
That's a report. That's not just publication of the ministry's documents. It's not true. You understand? Now, the minister has said clearly that the Big Push project includes projects that they inherited.
True.
Like Swami Interchange and so on. And that 23 of those contracts were awarded by the MPP administration under sole sourcing. This is what the minister has said. You cannot ignore that in this discussion. Now, President says that, look, given all the controversy and so on, I've ordered an investigation. It may be true that the president was involved in making all of these decisions, and all of us have been involved in making decisions at one stage or the other without understanding the full dimensions of what we were deciding.
Amazing.
Yes. Yes. Master, you want me to come to your ministry and under your stewardship? Some of the decisions which were taken.
Senior,
do you want us to do
whatever
that?
it is,
Do you want us to do
my point
that?
is very, very simple.
Pacho Manelande. Pacho Manelande. Yes. Augustine,
You
please.
see, I understand his position. Because given the time constraints and so on, I'll be making the last submission. He may have disagreements with me and
may
he
not
will
be able
not
to
have the
state it.
time to make it. So I
That's
can
true.
understand that frustration.
Right.
But given the fact that you said 20 minutes and I have only 2 minutes, I think it's also
You've spoken for at least
him,
4.
For him to understand my frustration as well, with this kind of
The man is saying exactly the same thing. Or say the Mobile Stadium. You are saying exactly what Kwesi Pratt say. Because Yayebi, Adaya Nuntin Ejina so 2 about here. But you people never knew that it was wrong. To say 2 about here. And then all of a sudden, I feel say it wrong. Are you people daft or dumb? Maybe you're okay there. Says here Anangasano. I say a pet doctors, Mamma just check a month for. Because you cannot be making that kind of statement. Makatra must say, sir, politics of equalization. Time. Ghana form PBU. We don't like it. There's nothing sensible in it. You people never equalize when it's good. And you're bad, no one eye, what do you mean? Can you be serious? Today on the big push is coming again. A chrono man for about 2 na wine and a book chrono no. Yeah, foreign affairs, friends, a foreign finance minister, former. We have to force. Kenya operator over 3 billion. Almost him. Papa is in a US war detention room, but that's show or so man. Then yet just the 3 billion. And over 15 million. You trade them our contractors. Or more than free, or more than you. Now, Road Minister, Honorable Kwame Governs Agbodza said, we realized the Ministry of Finance was paying contractors on our behalf without our knowledge. How can you do that? Who share contractors? The Ministry of the Director of Finance, the Ministry of Road, anyway. So who are you paying the money to? Kenofurata. No one knows Chase Kanaman. Now, Eba the say, and I say, ye ma contractor na enye no kore. Ye chia arrears, you duplicated the same arrears. How can someone do this to his own country? Please tell me. How can anybody do this to his own country? Please tell me. Cheche muchre me kanu forata de waye no. MPP for that so kasa no. I don't blame them. Sankabana ya cheche bebrera tuma can see munu bi it will be try. Catch them in comment section and say what is your take on how I can offerata no all manipulative figures. When you pay subscribe, like it, not share my unya, and you know, a back up a Max Billian, oh, naked, true to Oldboga trends, my crowd. Bye bye.